What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Rambling Rider podcast. I don't know what episode this is. Oh, we're getting around that yellow. Man, after yesterday's episode, I hope this thing keeps recording and doesn't give me any issues. Technically, last night, it did not give me issues. It just made me think it had issues. So I was getting all pissed off. But today, we are going to work, and it's Friday. I'm gonna watch that truck. Man, it feels good to be out again. I don't know what it is, but like certain days I'm just like super pumped to be on a motorcycle. And it's just like, yes, this is awesome, even though I do it all the time. So today I think we're gonna talk about, let's choose a random subject. I was about to say video games, but I'm really not that into video games. I don't know. If I ever play any video game, it's pretty much nowadays just always Minecraft. It's just a game I grew up with. It's one that's like super diverse and expandable, and you can play it like 1,000 different times, and it's always something new, depending on your creativity, I guess. Because the game doesn't really have a storyline. Like it's just an open world, really, and there are some objectives, or some, I guess not objectives, but they're more of achievements, I guess, as they're called. So I guess we are talking about video games for now. I don't know, maybe we'll change the subject in a minute. But yeah, I've always loved Minecraft for some reason. I've played some other games. I actually liked some of those Assassin's Creed games. I played it from the first one, or I didn't play it when it came out, but I think around the time Black Flag came out is when I started playing them. But I started at the beginning with Altair, I think was his name. Thank you for not running me off the road. So Altair, started there, then I went through the Ezio trilogy. I think that was the next one. And then, so there's the Ezio trilogy, and then there was Assassin's Creed 3. Do they call it 3, or the American Revolution one? And admittedly, that one was my favorite. I don't know why that one's... I seem to be backwards on the ones that people like and don't like. So a lot of people say they don't really like the American Revolution one, but then they say they really like Black Flag, and then I was the opposite. I was like, I really liked the American Revolution one, and then Black Flag was just kind of I don't know why, but the sailing just got so boring, because I was just having to sail across the oceans, which took like 20-30 minutes just to go to my next objective, and it's just like, I'm wasting my time. I want to go do something, not just sail. I don't really want to manage a fleet either. Like, I'm supposed to be a rogue assassin, you know, kind of a solo person. But then I don't know, I also liked the really liked the second storyline, which they killed in Black Flag. One with what's his name? Devin? Something with a D. I don't know. The modern characters, like current time characters, and they just straight up killed, or not killed him, but they just like removed him, made him no longer important, because I guess a lot of other people didn't like him. And I get that. It wasn't why you buy the game. You buy the game to be the assassin. But I don't know, I just like the storylines. But then it led up to nothing. It was so disappointing. You basically lost. In Black Flag, it was just like, yeah, he's incapacitated and we're using him to... I forget what exactly they did with him, but basically just made him not important, and it's just like a side note to mention like what happened to him. I mean, like if you're gonna if you're gonna cut off a storyline, you gotta like at least have a resolution to it. Like the way they ended it in American Revolution, like Assassin's Creed 3, was he essentially lost. I mean, what they were fighting for. Like there was, I totally forget the name of the golden apple thing, or Apple of Eden. It was supposed to be some, like you're serving some god. I totally don't remember the characters' names and everything, but there's some goddess or something that you kept seeing visions of, or something or other, to lead you to get this Apple of Eden. But then you find out she's the bad person. She's twisting the story to get you to do what she wants, and then she gets it, and then you lose. It's just like, what? That's it? I think some other main character dies. Not main character, but I think it was like the girlfriend, sort of, or the girl of the group dies. Or maybe it was the main character. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've actually played it, but it was so lame. It's like you lost, and then they cut off the game, and then in the next game they're just like, yeah, he doesn't matter anymore. It's like, what? We don't get to resolve that? That's so stupid. I play this game and then you make me lose, and then oh god, it was dumb. So after that I didn't play any more Assassin's Creed games. Maybe I'd get back into it. I hear some of the newer ones are fun still. I still like the Assassins part of the game. I mean, that's still the main reason I get it, but I don't know. It's like if you're gonna make a storyline, you gotta complete it the right way. And then yeah, what other games have I played? So there's Minecraft, there's Assassin's Creed up to Black Flag. There's an old game I used to like was called Fate. If anyone ever has played Fate, just look. It's kind of, if you look on the internet, you have to type Fate the game. Because if you just type in Fate, it's going to give you like the definition of Fate, or every pop culture reference to Fate or something. But Fate the game, I believe there was more than one. There was like Fate 2, which I don't think I played. I just played the original Fate, and I believe it is on Steam for like $10. At least it was at one point. But it was an old game before even Steam was around. It was like something I had on the early days of Windows 7, or even maybe before Windows 7. I don't remember. So, and that was it was kind of like a dungeon RPG type of game where you're this traveler who comes upon a town that has all these problems because of this dungeon that's nearby, and all the monsters are coming out of the dungeon and stealing artifacts or something. And it's just like you basically just have endless quests from the village people, and the dungeon is procedurally generated, which is kind of cool. So there's multiple levels. You go in and you're on level 1, or maybe it's 0, I don't remember, but you go in, you're on level 1, and basically you have like nothing except for like, you know, something like a wooden sword, I don't know. And then you gather XP and levels, and you rank up and you get a better armor, and eventually you're god tier player who can, you have a pet, you can have one pet of your choosing, which is like, I think you choose at the beginning of the game. It's like something like a dog or a cat, but then you can cast spells and stuff which can both, you know, like cast spells against enemies, and you can cast spells like healing yourself, and you can cast spells to affect your pet. Like you can turn your pet into like some high level spider or something for 10 minutes, something like that. And it's pretty cool because the way they do it, you combine like all these spells to different keys on your keyboard, and so you can get really into like the gameplay, and it can get kind of chaotic. Some of the levels have like maybe like 3 dozen spiders in one area, and it's just like, oh god. Or maybe not 3 dozen spiders, but like maybe a couple spiders, and one of them's the boss, and then the boss spider can spawn more spiders. Glad that intersection change went smoothly. There seems to be a lot of people there at that moment. So yeah, that was a pretty fun game. It's kind of an endless game though. Like you could just keep playing it and you're just leveling up. You're not really heading to anything. There is one feature in the game that I've never tried, actually. Maybe because when I was too young I just didn't have the patience or whatever, but you can, at certain points in your game, you can go restart the game, except you're allowed to keep one item that you have. And I'm not entirely sure if, because a lot of the items require you to be a certain level or have a certain amount of strength or dexterity skills or something like that. And I don't remember, or I don't know, rather. Oh, that was a backfire. I don't know if it lets you wear that thing even when you're like a complete noob. But yeah, so that's something I maybe would try one day, is actually doing something with it. I still have a save on my computer of a game. Maybe I'll just go in and try restarting, seeing if you just keep that piece of armor or what. And if you restart again, do you keep 2 pieces of armor or just 1 still? Because that'd be interesting. If you keep replaying the game, you basically start off the game like with a full set of epic armor. I always hated this curve for some reason. I don't know why. It always appears tighter than it or not as tight as it actually is. So I always go in a little bit faster. A big truck. Seems like a decent day today. Actually, it's not as nice as it was yesterday, but of course you guys couldn't tell that because it was nighttime and my video footage from the day got deleted, essentially, or not deleted, just stopped recording. But it was actually really nice yesterday, or really nice relative to like the past couple months. It's been overcast and rain. It was a partly cloudy day, so sun came out, and that was awesome. That's why I had to ride yesterday. It was just a good day. So, yeah, I stayed up kind of late last night, editing some videos. There was actually some videos from when me and my brother went skiing at Mount Hood. And I'm probably gonna end up posting that on this channel. Why not? I'll also post it on I have a personal account. It has my real name. If you guys, hopefully you know that Scott Milk's not a real name, but so essentially I'm gonna post it on probably both channels, share the video that's on my personal account with my friends and family, and I'm kind of keeping this channel private, or not private, but just like I'm not telling anyone about it because I kind of want the fan base to develop naturally, and I also kind of want it to be a place where I could potentially ramble about the crap going on in my life, if there ever is any, which might one day involve my family or friends. So yeah, I'm kind of just keeping it to myself, not telling anyone about it. And oh, that's nice. Fancy house there. I never really looked down there before. So yeah, Scott Milk's not my real name, obviously. I mean, it's a play on the words got milk. It's kind of like a sort of an anonymous name I've used for a while. On a few different platforms. And if you ever are like forced to sign up for one of those dumb websites where you just need like a download for some software or something, and they like force you to sign up, and it's just like, I really don't want any newsletters from you guys, so I'm going to use my spam email along with my anonymous name, which is Scott Milk. That's a cool little truck. Hell yeah. He gave me the cool sign, dude. Cool bike, dude sign. Yeah, back on this road, which is kind of a shitty road. It's annoying because it's like got grooves in it from, you know, where semis drive, like especially here. There's in this curve, for whatever reason, there's like a lump in the middle right next to where there's I don't know if you guys saw, there was a tar snake, but that's like a lump in the road that follows that tar snake, so I kind of got to scooch over. But then there's occasionally these parts of the road where it's starting to crack apart, fall. It's almost like a pothole is slowly developing. but it's just kind of a spider web of cracks. So then there's like that shitty part of the road which I could potentially slip on, and then there's occasionally places where they fixed it, so there's tar snakes, and it's not a great road. All these things you gotta look out for. Yeah, see all those tow snakes? Oh, is this a flagger? What's going on here? It says slow. I guess maybe they haven't started yet, so they haven't cut anyone off. Yeah, it's not too cold today either. It's cool, but like, you know, riding in these jeans here, not bad. So yeah, I think I hope my thing's still recording. I don't know why it's no longer showing the light. That might also be a setting. I don't know why. Some of the settings have been like switched around on me, and I don't know why on this camera, but sure is nice today. Just to ride, nice and cool. I don't get too hot, and although I really can't wait for warm weather to come back, because I started riding pretty much right around the time where it got cold and rainy. It hasn't even been a whole year yet. But yeah, I'm still loving it. I can't wait to just not have to wear this thick jacket and, you know, just wear my single motorcycle jacket, flannel looking thing. But we're not there yet. So I think that's gonna pretty much wrap up this video. I don't really know what else to talk about. It's not really... There's some other online games I used to play, you know, things like Line Rider, and it used to be on Club Penguin, but well, that's gone. And Line Rider still exists, but I think it's harder to find, and it's changed quite a bit too. The last time I checked, there's a lot of other weird different mechanics in Line Rider than I'm used to. I'm just used to the 3 lines. There's the blue line, the red line, and the green line. The blue line is just a normal line you can ride on. The red line is one that speeds you up. There's a green line, which is like for drawing and such. That guy's coming up quick. So you can pass straight through it, and that's pretty much it. You do cool stuff with lines. Make a little guy on a sled go do stuff. Some of the people on those got super creative, and I don't know how they're doing it, but they must be on a tablet with a pen or something. I can tell my camera's vibrating. But yeah, that's pretty much all the games I've ever played. There's a store back there called Surplus Gizmos. Makes me wonder if that's like a military surplus store? Couldn't really tell. But anyways, I'm pretty much to work, guys, so talk to you guys later. Ciao. What's going on, guys? It is nighttime now. I am back. Let's see here. Get used to that clutch. I don't know. I feel like I should. Maybe it's just a little cold now, but for some reason my feels like my clutch has to be let out a little bit further than what I'm used to. Maybe my hands are just kind of cramping up. Not cramping, but just... It's a little chilly tonight. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, today was kind of a interesting day at work. Yeah, we were really busy, except we can only run so many machines at once. We have I don't know how many machines we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 14 machines that I know of that we have or we're able to run, and they're all different types of machines. Or well, there's some that are the same, but you know, there's only maximum of 2 of the same machines. So different jobs require different machines, and we have a whole bunch of jobs come in today and a little bit yesterday. Oh god, I'm starting to really shiver. We had a whole bunch of machines or parts come in from the same company, and they're all on two different types of machines that we have. No, actually one type of machine. One type and 2 total machines that we have that can run these parts. So it was, for me, it was super busy because I was manning those machines. The problem is, the rest of our place, there's not a whole lot of work, and you can only have a maximum of 2 people manning these 2 machines. It's not like you can have more than 1 person working on one machine. So it was kind of annoying. It was just like, we're so busy, except like half our staff wasn't doing anything. It was kind of like, what the fuck, why am I stuck with this? And I get it. I mean, I'm a newer person to this place, but like, I don't know, it just was kind of weird. Like, I was having to work my ass off and everyone else was just kind of kicking back. There were things they could have been doing. They could have been programming some stuff on the computers to get ready for the machines, which is actually what I ended up doing this, like, the second half of my night, was programming some stuff. And I actually like programming because I'm good with computers and that kind of stuff. And maybe it is a little bit of my, maybe it's slightly just being lazy, but you know, because I get to sit at my desk and do it instead of standing at the machine and handling parts. But I don't know, I like the programming side of it. But the only way you can really learn to be a good programmer is to also run the parts that you program, so you know exactly, like, there's certain steps and certain things you have to do to make it like run efficiently, or you know, put things in a certain order to make it easier, you know, things like that, that you only really learn from running the parts. So it's obviously useful to do both, run the parts and program them. But you know, I just really like the programming side of it, but we don't get to do it very often because you only program a part when it's a new part. Whereas a lot of our parts are repeats. They'll just like, a company is like, hey, you've run this before, I'm just going to send it to you again. And you do it again. And sometimes it's like, you have more than half of the stuff we get is repeats. Sometimes they only do repeats like once a year, or like even, actually some parts recently we've run that were programmed like 10 years ago, which is kind of ridiculously long time ago. There seems to be a car with hazards over on the right side here. So yeah, it's like back from like Windows 95 or Windows Vista or something era when these things were programmed, and then we gotta pick them up again and run them again. And there's some things that are like they're like, since we've learned so much over the years, or at least our company has learned so much. I've just been here the last year essentially, and so it's like there's some things you can tell, it's like, what the heck are they doing? It's so inefficient. Why are they doing it this way? You kind of like what I was talking about before, is you learn how to be more efficient just by running the parts and programming them as well. But like, a lot of that stuff is just kind of tips and tricks you get from other more experienced people that are working there. There's some police out tonight. Wonder if they got someone pulled over. Seem to be in the same exact spot as the other night, actually. Oh, they don't have anyone. They're just sitting there. Huh. Maybe they did have someone and then, I don't know. So it's the second time I've seen a cop sitting on the side here in the last week, and before that I haven't seen any cops out here. It's kind of, usually there's like no cops out on at 1 a.m. on this road, so I don't know. They've had some change in the way they're operating or something, I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of my day, and I'm pretty much home already. That's how quick it is to go on the freaking freeway versus that other windy road, which I like to take on the way to work. And last night I took home. Let's see, coasting in here. I have a question for any other motorcycle riders out there. Do you guys, when you downshift and you know you're going to come to a stop, like you're coming up to a stoplight and there's a lineup of cars, so you're not, even if it does turn green right then, oh, there's two other cars behind me, that's weird, you're still going to have to wait for that line of cars, so you know you're going to have to stop. Do you downshift all at once, or do you downshift as you slow down? Like, since I know that I downshift every 10 miles an hour, because that's just how my gearing is. Every time I hit another marker on my speedometer where it's labeled, I just downshift. Or at least I've been starting to do that. I didn't used to, but I think I started to do that because there are occasionally times where you do end up having to go, and it's like, well, then I'm not in the right gear. I'm in first when I'm going 30 miles an hour, so you gotta upshift twice before you can go. I was just wondering. Anyways, that's gonna pretty much do it for this video. Hope you guys like it. We need to figure out some outro phrase or something, or maybe I'll change it up. I don't know. I've always kind of never liked standard YouTuber outro phrases or whatever, but considering this is kind of a podcast and not just any old YouTube channel, maybe I'll set it to something more podcasty, but not just plugging my merch or something if I ever had any, which I don't. But anyways, check you guys later. Ciao. I like that one.